Good evening, everyone. It's me again, Al Brown Spencer. I know I haven't posted any video for a while now. I have been fighting still for justice and for my freedom, and no progress whatsoever. I am still here in Donostia, San Sebastian in Spain, in the Basque Country, and the situation is still the same. And by the way, today is Friday, the 12th of September, 2025, and I believe it is about 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock, something like that in the evening. The chemical dosing and the drugs dosing never stopped, and even till today. And today I went to Lidl, the store that I buy my stuff in terms of grocery and food and all of this and drinks, and I handed them two identical papers that I printed yesterday, explaining to them that I'm being dosed with drugs via or through the food and the drinks that they are selling, and I gave them details of this, and I made it clear to them that if this doesn't stop, I will be reporting this to the police officially, and I will be taking it to the court. Have I said that? The country where I was born, and of course using politicians in England, for example, in Germany, and even here in Spain, they are depriving me from any chance or any opportunity to report what is being done to me in the police station or to take it to the court, because I know for sure that there are court cases that they are handling using my name, whether the previous name or the current name, and they don't want anything to conflict with this. That's why they are depriving me from any chance to take a case in the court against them or to get investigation regarding the dosing and the drugs dosing that I am being subjected to all the time. And of course, for me, it is important that I get clarification from the embassy of the country where I was born, and confirmation that the situation is still stands, and that I am only a British citizen, and no one restored the nationality of the country where I was born without my consent or my knowledge. I am afraid, and I hope I'm wrong about one thing that I'm afraid of, which is that maybe they are using my siblings in the country where I was born, giving them another image about my situation and so on. Especially that they take photos of me whenever they want. So I go and protest or ask people for help. They could be taking photos of me and giving it to my siblings, saying, look what's going on. I go and feed the pigeons and all of this and the birds peacefully. They could even use this against me, and they say, look, this guy is a veg. He just, feeding the birds and all of this. He doesn't know what's going on around him or what's going on in the world, blah, blah, blah. And all of this shit that the authorities do. And I'm trying to get help here from genuine people who can actually support me and stand by my side, specifically in exposing my abusers. It is a fact that I will never give up my goals in life, which are two goals in life that I will never stop until I achieve those two goals. Number one is to get complete justice. And when I say complete justice, I want to stress on the meaning or what I mean by a complete justice, so everyone out there understands what's the situation and so on. When I say complete justice, I mean everything that the word justice means. So not just the compensations, the financial compensations that I am owed regarding the use and abuse and torture that they did to me and the waste of my years and all what they did to me, but also the exposing my abusers. So My abusers must be exposed. This is a must. It doesn't matter what they would claim in terms of it's a mistake or not a mistake. It doesn't matter. Any person in any authority who misconducted or did anything wrong, they must be punished, named and shamed, exposed, and they must be punished. End of story. So this is part of the justice that I am looking for. The punishment of everyone that participated in what was done to me, regardless of who they are. Anyone who took part or participated or helped or assisted or facilitated what was done to me, they must be punished accordingly regarding what they have done and all of this. Another part of the justice I'm looking for is restoring all the money, and I'm repeating again, any money that was invested for my father because of the murder of his twin daughters. This money must be restored and must be given to me and my family. This is a must, and I will never give up claiming this money and explaining to people. This money is hundreds and hundreds of billion of pounds sterling, dollars, and even euros, and so on. This money they have been investing this money for my father for over 60 years. And even in the country where I was born, they started to invest money for my father after they killed his his twin daughters when they were 6 months old. And they have been investing money for him in things like baby products like Cerelac, they're like, talcum powder and toiletries and other stuff and all of this. And not only this, they have invested in lots and lots of things that even in car manufacturers and all of this in countries like Korea and so on. And of course, I cannot prove this. So you have to be open-minded when you listen to this rather than jumping to a conclusion, because I don't have any evidence right now or at the present time. Some politicians from the country where I was born, they do. But the problem is these politicians, it's either they are trying to steal this money and literally take it for their own, selves and families and all of this, or somehow some of these politicians maybe, against all odds turn to be good and restore this money and give it to me and my family. And when I say me and my family, I mean me and my brother and my sisters and all of this, who they could be used. I mean, they could have been using my siblings and their kids in the country where I was born for the past years without their knowledge, getting their signatures, telling them, we're helping your brother, you have to give us your signature so we can get involved or intervene, blah, 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 and all of this. And they could have been using them. So in other words, imagine when authorities becomes rogue. They have become the thieves. They have become like a gang of thieves, and they have been stealing from this fortune that was invested for my father for years and years and years. And I promise you, it's hundreds of billions. I mean, hundreds of billions of currencies like pounds sterling, dollars, and euros. They have invested for my father in lots and lots of countries. And imagine authorities, and they are not any authorities. They are the highest of the highest of the highest of the highest authorities. And they are the ones who put the plans, the ideology even of societies and countries, and they are the ones who know what kind of planning or development or whatever ahead, even for the next 10 years, that they put plans and all of this, so they know everything. They can make a penny into 1,000 in no time and all of this. And they invested for my father lots and lots and lots and lots of money, hundreds of billions of currencies like pounds sterling, dollars, and euros. And I don't know if they are trying to steal this money or in the end they will turn out to be decent and, give me this money, me and my family, and so on. But I will fight till the end for this money. And whether you jump to conclusion, whether another stereotype of someone who's going to jump to conclusion and think there is another deluded person who thinks that the government, did this, blah, 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 and all of this. There are lots of other information that I can give to people, and they will understand and they will get a complete picture and so on. So anyway, complete justice to get, this is part of the complete justice, to get every penny, every cent, every money that was invested for my father, that this money must be restored and given to me and my family. Of course, the punishment of the people who did this to me and my family and all of this is a must. Another thing, the compensations that they owe me for what they did to me. So forging the documents in the UK and putting me in prison and abusing me and torturing me physically, mentally, physiologically, psychologically, you name it, socially, you name it. I mean, they have abused me and tortured me in every way you would ever imagine in the UK, which was so brutal, and in Germany, but it wasn't as brutal as in the UK. And they must pay me my compensations for what they did. And before you jump to conclusion again and ask yourself, if I own, or me and my family own, billions or hundreds of billions of currencies like pounds sterling, dollars, euros, and so on, why would I be holding on so tight to my right for the compensations that, millions, like it's not comparable to billions and so on. The right thing must be done, and my right is my right. Exposing my abusers in the UK, in Germany, and in every country that participated in what was done to me, their politician and so on, is a must. The financial compensation is a must. And for me, for what was done to me in the UK on its own, I'm just talking about the UK. Now I'm just talking about what was done to me in the UK, the compensations for what was done to me in the UK only. Just one thing they did to me in the UK, if someone from the politicians, especially from the country where I was born, because they are the ones, planned and all of this, if they are decent enough to bring up, or give evidence even for just one thing that they did to me in prison, this one thing, a judge can, put down their hammer and giving a sentence of a compensation of at least few million pounds sterling. This is just for one thing that they did to me in prison in the UK. Imagine the zillions of things that they did to me in the UK. If these politicians from the country where I was born, or other politicians from any country, if they are decent enough and they have the guts to come forward or step forward and give these evidences for the use and abuse and the torture that I have been experiencing for decades so far, I promise you, the compensations I am claiming for what was done to me in the UK only, I'm not talking about Germany, I'm not talking about the country where I was born before and all of this, I'm talking just about the UK, what was done to me in the UK. 20 million pounds sterling. This is the minimum for what they did to me in the UK. And again, anyone who is, putting doubts around this number or saying whatever, I hope some honest politicians or some politicians from the country where I was born or other countries who are decent enough to support me, or at least to do the right thing in the end, and to bring these evidences forward and to give it to courts and support me in the court in terms of, the cases and so on against my abusers and who did this to me and all of this. And specifically in the UK, because the British government is responsible for everything that was done to me in the UK, regardless that at some point I had another passport from another country. Everything that was done to me on the British soil, the British government is responsible for this and allowing this. Specifically and specially that the police forces that beat me up, arrested me, harassed me, forged documents, put me in prison, blah, 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 and all of this were British police and authorities and British, officers and all of this. The NHS, British. The social service, British, and so on. So the UK government is responsible not only to take the responsibility for everything that was done to me in the UK on its soil while I was living there as a British citizen, but also they are obliged to give all information and every details they have and all the information they have about my case and the country where I was born and the politicians were involved and what they have done and all of this. They have to give all the information they have, and they must cooperate with the court system, and they give all the information they have to judges and so on. And as I said, I'm just talking about what was done to me in the UK. And as I said again, I'm repeating it again, the British authorities and the British government is responsible for two things. One, for everything that was done to me on the British soil by British authorities, and they must be responsible and liable for the punishment and the compensations they must be paying for me for what they did to me. Two, they must give all details and information about my case and about all the politicians and all the communications between their authorities and any authority, foreign authorities, whether from the country where I was born or Germany, because Germany is another story. Trust me. When I give all the details about, the German side and why it was involved, even for a long, long time and all of this, this is another tour. And I'm going to give all the details and information and all of this. So yeah, all what was done to me in the UK, I'm talking about just the UK only, the torture, the use and abuse and all of this. I'm claiming 20 million pounds sterling and exposing and naming and shaming all the authorities and individuals and officials who got participated in what was done to me. If you're laughing or you think this is impossible or whatever, well, I cannot stop you from thinking whatever you want. I mean, in other words, you could be anyone. I don't know. You could be whatever, and whatever you think is something that you think, and all of this. So I'm not gonna hold you responsible for, or blame you for, taking this kind of attitude or whatever. Have I said that? Justice is justice, and yeah, I am not gonna give up pursuing justice and exposing my abusers, and as I said, complete justice. So yeah, my compensations from the UK government is 20 million pounds sterling. As for the German government, this is another story, and all the information, of course, will be given and all of this. Hence, I am trying to talk to the media and give them all the information I have and so on. But then again, my abusers are putting doubts around my mental capacity. They are not giving me any chance to give the information I have or take a step or start a case against my abusers in the court or against them in the court and so on. And above all of this, they are doing things behind the curtain between, as they say, the big authorities are trying to resolve the situation, regardless of what I want as kind of justice for me and so on. And as I said, I will fight till the end. I will fight till the last second of my life to get this justice from the UK. I'm talking about the UK only, just the UK. For what was done to me in the UK, my compensations are 20 million pounds sterling, and they are increasing every year for, of course, you know, the value of the money and all of this. And one day I will get my compensations, and one day I will expose the British authorities for what they did to me. It's better that they do it themselves in terms of admitting what was done, giving the public the information and all the details, regardless of the consequences. Justice is justice, regardless. If the UK has any justice system and they know what is justice, they must admit what was done and give it to the public. And they must give me my complete justice, my compensations, and everything. As for the country where I was born and Germany, this is another story. This is another story. As I said, I am not going to hold back. I'm going to give all the information I have, regardless of what the people will think. There are lots of people out there who know already things, and when they get the information I have, not just about what was done to me and my family, but everything I know, it will ring a bell. It will be, a link that will connect the missing words, or the missing, the blanks in their thoughts or in the events and all of this. So yeah, this is justice I am pursuing, and this is what I will always fight for, regardless. I know they can kill me. I know they can do to me unbelievable stuff again. I know they can bury me alive, that no one will hear about me, and as if I didn't even exist. Look, the scenarios, and by the way, before I say this, I'm just trying to make this clear. I experienced unbelievable stuff that from the authorities, that no matter if you are an ordinary person who doesn't know what authorities can do and so on, I promise you, no matter what your mind or your thoughts will take you in a fantasy world in your head regarding what the authorities can do to a human being, how do they kill people, how do they destroy lives, how do they, even destroy families, how do they bury people alive, how do they, regardless of what your mind can take you to, of how brutal and how savage authorities can do to people, I promise you, it's not even 1% of the reality that I have seen some of it with my own eyes, and I got to know the rest. And I don't know everything. I mean, I'm saying so, and I know for sure they have much, much more they can do. And I know they can do to me unbelievable stuff again, but I am not going to give up. And I'm going to give all the information I have, how they annihilate people in the public, how they frame people, how they annihilate people, how they are proceeding, or they are performing their or pitching up their circuses in public if they are target someone, whatever investigation they are doing, and all of this. All the information I have, I'm going to give. Specifically how they are poisoning people, how they are dosing people, and how they manage to target one person in a whole city without poisoning someone else. They can target one person in millions of people, in a city of millions of people, and only one person they are targeting, they can give, the drugs or the poison they want. And I'm going to give all the details I know about this, because they killed lots of people this way. And as I said, no matter what I'm going to say, some people out there will not believe, will not take it in, will not be convinced, will be like, it's not their business, just live your life, don't get in trouble, and all of this. And for me, I already have seen trouble. I have seen death so many times. I mean, for me, myself, they killed me hundreds of times when they put me in prison, in Bullingdon prison, investor in the UK, in Oxfordshire. For so many nights, it was my last night. And I was 100% sure, that's it. My life is going to end. They killed me so many times. And they killed me when they deprived me from my daughters. They killed me when they killed my father. They killed me when they killed my brother. And I had to see him when he was dead. He was like a leathery skin mummy. And regardless of whatever, my brother is my brother. And I will never forgive and I will never forget what was done to him or my father. I will never forgive and I will never forget, and justice is justice. And everyone participated in what was done to me must pay the price, not just money, but they must be punished. And there is one big thing that everyone must understand and know. Justice can never be a charity. And charity can never be justice. So if you are anyone of any authority and you used, abused, tortured, or even made, as you fucking claim, a mistake and harmed someone innocent, you cannot decide what you can give them and say this is justice and make it as a charity. You must be judged. You must be punished, even if it was a mistake, because your authority is a responsibility that was given to you by the authorities or by the government, and the government are the people. Well, supposedly, government are the people. And this responsibility means that if you misconduct deliberately, or if you make a mistake and harm someone, you must be named, shamed, punished properly and accordingly. You are not in a situation and you do not have the privilege to say that you will fix someone's life or you mistake your own way, or give someone pennies and say, oh, you helped and all of this, or it's a charity. You don't have to do this. No one can prove. See what the court gonna do for you. You're not gonna get justice in the court, but I'm giving you some money, like charity. Take it, man. Take it, or you're not gonna fucking get anything. Well, all of this is bullshit. And all of this is wrong. And if this is life, and if this is what authorities do, then all authorities in the whole world must be dismantled completely. And everyone in authorities who is practicing this practice or this method, they must be imprisoned for life. And new governments based on new morals, new laws that, preserve the rights of people and protect it. And when someone from any authority misconduct, they must be named, shamed, and punished publicly. So no one in the authorities can repeat this or do this and know that they will never get away with any misconduct or any mistake. So authorities will be going like this, straight line. They will never, ever misconduct. And this is what it should be. So anyone in any authority out there who was involved in anything was done to me or not, in other authorities or whatever, if you misconduct, or if you deliberately harm someone, or even a mistake, you are responsible and you must be named and shamed and you must be punished publicly. And when I say punished publicly, I mean like all the public must know what was done to you, not, like punished publicly in a savage way like some countries and all of this. And this is what should happen, and this is what should be done. Justice is not a charity, and charity is not justice. And anyway, there is nothing called high expectation in justice. Justice is justice. There is no high expectation in justice. And no one should have the authority or the power to undermine or bring down justice to nothing, or what they think, or what the victim think. So if someone was abused and tortured by the authorities, and this person think that they will take whatever, like whatever money they think in their head, while in fact, justice is much, much more than what they think. This is not an opportunity or a green light for the authorities to bring this expectation down to what this person think. They must give the right amount of compensations to the person, regardless. I know this because I know what authorities do. They abuse people, and people are simple. People are simple, and some people, they will accept anything. And I have seen what they have done, what they are doing to me right now. They are bringing me down and down and down that I don't even have money to buy what I want to eat. No money even to buy food. And they are trying to break down my expectations to nothing, or to what, they would be willing to give. But no, and a big no. Justice is justice. And as I said, just one thing, I'm talking about one thing of zillions of things they did to me in the UK. If someone out there from these politicians are honest or decent, or somehow they decided to be, on the good side after all, if they bring these evidences and give it to a proper court, I promise you, just one thing they did to me in the UK when they put me in prison, I will get easily, any judge, any fair judge will put down their hammer and say, few million pounds sterling. This is just one thing. Imagine the zillions of things they did to me. Besides, there is one thing I want to address that many people out there might be thinking of. It's not just the use and abuse and torture, the physical, the mental, the psychological, the physiological, the social, and all of this. It's the fact that they wasted so many years of my life. Not just the year in imprisonment and a mental health hospital, but the years struggle, being under zero, always in a struggle. No job, no money, no place to live, nothing. All of these years and years of chemical dosing, social abuse, abuse in every way, shape, and form. And above all of this, depriving me from my daughters. My daughters were little kids when what was last time I saw them, in 2016, till now. And it wasn't me deciding not to see my daughters. They deprived me completely, even talking to them on the phone or on, video call or whatever, on like Facebook and so on. They literally deprived me by force from my daughters completely. The authorities responsible for this, regardless of what grounds they based their decision to deprive me from my daughters on, or the reasons they deprived me from my daughters. These authorities, my question is, whether you are a female or a male or both or whatever, do you have a family? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids or whatever? Imagine if I have authorities to deprive you from your daughters or your kids and your grandkids or whatever. How would you feel? What would you think in terms of punishment you would put on someone who deliberately deprived you from your kids? I want you to think about this and judge yourself for this. What would you do? And how would you think of punishment, or what punishment you would think of that you would apply on anyone who uses their authorities to deprive you from your beloved ones, regardless? Kids, grandkids, parents, family, whatever. What would be the punishment you would choose for these people? I know what punishment I would apply on the people who deprive me from my daughters. And it's really humane. I mean, like, I don't like harming people and I don't like to destroy lives, but justice is justice. Justice is justice. There is no escape from this. No escape from this. Justice is justice. And above all of this, I believe that the human being is the most important being on earth. No one has the right to end anyone's life. No one has the right to abuse, use, torture anyone, no matter what. Even the worst piece of work person, criminals or whatever, no one has the right to harm them in any way, form or shape apart from justice in terms of imprisonment. I don't believe in execution. I don't agree on execution. I don't agree on harming people physically as a kind of punishment for any crime or whatever. Imprisonment. 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 End of story. And of course, in this case, compensations. A government that appointed someone who misconducts, regardless who they are. So a government appointing police officers, social workers, council officers or council employees, NHS employees, or any whatever in any other country, not just the UK, judges, this and that, blah, blah, blah. The government employs lots of people, and the government is responsible for the behavior of these people and how they perform in their posts. These people, of course, they are responsible for their own selves, themselves, what they do and all of this. And if they misconduct and all of this, they get punished. But the government is still responsible for their behavior because they appointed these people. And they must have measures and ways of monitoring and controlling and keeping the high performance and adequate performance of their individuals or their officials in a way that they don't misconduct or harm anyone or make mistakes and so on. And the government is responsible as well. It's not just these individuals. So if a politician was elected by people and was appointed by the government or the people and they misconduct, the whole government is responsible for this politician. Not just one politician responsible for the act, the whole government, because the government appointed this person. And no government has the right to blame the people for appointing this politician. And I'm talking about the politicians that you don't see on TV, the ones who are running the business. The ones you see on TV and elected and all of this, I'm so sorry, with all respect to anyone who's watching, just puppets. They are chosen just to play a game called, democracy and all of this. But behind the curtain, there are real politicians that they are not known or names or whatever or addresses, and they are the ones who are actually holding the keys, who are giving the orders, who are running the business and all of this. And this is another thing that I will be giving to the public. All the information I know about this and everything I'm going to give to the public and so on. I'm not going to hold back any information I have, no matter what. End of story. So yeah, justice is justice, and I will always, always, always try to get complete justice for what was done to me. And as I said, complete justice, including getting any money that was invested for my father for the killing of his twin daughters, who were 6 months old when they were killed. Regardless of some people out there wouldn't, and even my siblings wouldn't even understand or believe that this actually real, what happened. They don't know. I mean, it's unbelievable that I am holding and I'm carrying all of this on my shoulders and I'm trying to get justice. But anyway, I believe in justice and I believe I will get justice, and I will try my best to get justice no matter what. And I promise you, whether you misheard or you think you misheard or you think that I miscalculated or I'm just talking whatever, I'm repeating again, the money that was invested for my father now is hundreds and hundreds of billions of pounds sterling, dollars, euros, and so on. And lots of investments everywhere, and the politicians who know and they have all the details and they have the keys in their hands, they are in the country where I was born. They are in the country where I was born, and unfortunately, the fortune that was supposed to be given to my father in his life, they treated it as, like a rollover to give it to one of his kids. But actually, when they do this, it's because they taken from this money. It's like I don't know, it's like a spoil of a war that they are just snatching from it as much as they can. It's unbelievable to a stage you will never believe it. And I want to give all the information to the public, and I want justice, and I want to get justice complete. And of course, for my compensations, regardless if someone is being funny and say, oh, if you own billions, hundreds of billions of pounds sterling and dollars and euros, why are you caring about 20 or 30 million, pounds sterling and so on? Because it's my right, regardless. It's my right. Look, if someone has money, regardless of how much money they have, every penny or every cent, they have the right. If it's theirs, it's their right. You cannot say it's too much money for someone and take from it. This is stealing. If someone owns money, it's their money, regardless of how much it is. And no one has the right to put any doubts around their mental capacity or if they are good enough to look after this money or to be given this money and so on. If someone owns money, it's their right. They must be given their right. They must be given this money. And this is the situation. This is my money. And I'm claiming my money. It's my money. It's my right. No one out there can say if I'm good enough to hold this money or to manage it myself or not. And no one has the right to put any doubts around my mental capacity or my abilities of running my own affairs, including financial affairs and including financial money, properties, regardless of how much it is. Hundreds of billions of pounds sterling, dollars, euros. If someone owns money, it's their money. End of story. And they have all the right to manage this money, all the right to have full control over this money and to manage it and so on. Besides, I have never given anyone in the world, in any place in the world, whether in the country where I was born, England, Germany, France, Ireland, any place I've been to, or any place in the world, I have never given anyone any consent to be a representative for me or to act on my behalf or to have any say regarding anything that I own, even if I don't have or have it in my possession yet. Nothing. I did not give anyone any right or anything to manage anything I own, anything I have, and so on. And in the end of the day, justice is justice. My money is my money, and I have the right to control it, to have full possession of it, to manage it. And above all of this, I have the right to get every penny and every cent for my compensations for what was done to me. Not only this, naming and shaming the people involved, and of course, getting them punished for what they have done to me. I don't know what else to say apart from the fact that I'm living underground. I'm living zero. I'm still in my van. I haven't had a shower for 4 months. For 4 months, I have not taken a shower since last time I was in France, and I went to a place where they allow you to have a shower for free, and I had a shower there. That was the last time I had a shower. And even here in Donostia, San Sebastian, I asked lots of people to help me, to give me a chance to have a shower and so on. But again, everyone has the right to say no. If someone asks you to use your shower, of course you can say no. It's up to you and all of this. But I have been using the water. I mean, I have been swimming and taking cold water shower afterwards and all of this. And this is how I'm living. This is my van, as you can see. How I go to the toilet in that night, I cannot go to the toilet here apart from this. This is how I go to the toilet here if I have to, because here where I park the van, there is the nearest toilet. And by the way, here in Spain, they close the toilets after 9 o'clock. So after 9 o'clock, if you really want to go to the toilet and you don't have any home or anything, you're actually from you to the nature, basically, or you have to hold on until the morning and so on. And yeah, I'm managing in terms of this. But then again, look at the state my van is. Imagine someone who owns hundreds of billions and they are keeping me in this life. Well, this is the irony of fate, as they say. And the people who are keeping me like this are the people who are, responsible for the contradictions or contradictive things. Someone owns all of this money and they are keeping him in the rut, homeless, no job, no money, no friends, no family, no one to support me, no one to look after me in terms of, lots of things. But they are keeping me like this, as you can see, asking people for help every day, even for the food that I eat. I don't even have money to buy food. I have to ask people to help me, to give me food, to give me money so I can buy food. And tomorrow I'm selling all the stuff that I found in the bay, in the bottom of the bay, and hopefully I will sell everything and get some money. This is how I'm living. I have no life. I have no money, no job, no home, no place to live, no friends, no family, nothing at all. And this is how they're keeping me. Not only this, in this van, because the person who sold me the van conned me in every way, shape, and form. And the door, the slide door of the van doesn't, close properly from the bottom, and insects can go in. The sealant is not. And I promise you, I have been eaten alive by insects. This bed, sleeping here, so many nights, I couldn't even, have even 1 minute of a sleep because of insects that ate me alive. All my legs, my arms are, you can see the scars everywhere. Everywhere, scars in my legs, everywhere on my back, my arms, everywhere from insects. Not only this, even my clothes being eaten by the insects. No hygiene, no place to live, not even a shower for 4 months. I promise you, my abusers, punishing these bastards is overdue. And I will show no mercy for these bastards, and they must go to prison. Anyone participated in what is being done to me, even be keeping me like this, they must be punished. Not just financially, they must go to prison. Keeping someone in these conditions, you must go to prison, regardless. I mean, can't you see this is a human rights violation to keep someone like this deliberately? I mean, Homelessness in any city or any country or any town is a shame for this town, for their government, the people who run this town, or they run the city, or they run the country. It's a shame for them. Any town that has a homeless person, this is a shame. And keeping people in this condition, this is unbelievable. I can't even have a shower. And even the places here where they say I can go and have a shower, it's full. And I cannot go and use it because of the people who go and use it all the time. And that was not a coincidence. Inundating this city before even I come here to stay was deliberate, in inundating them with Arabs and Muslims and North Africans and Middle Eastern. Because they know, after all what was done to me from the country where I was born, here and there, all of this, I would never want to be anywhere near Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, or Middle Easterns. And even till the last second of my life, regardless of what is going to happen, I want my life to be free from anyone who is from North Africa, Arabs, Muslims, Middle Easterns, and so on, or fanatic religious person, whatever religion you have. If you're a fanatic religious person and so on, I don't want to be anywhere near you. And this is my right. This is my life, and this is my right. Anyway, guys, whoever watching this video, I hope you understand every word properly, and I hope you don't jump to conclusion. And I hope that there will be some genuine people out there who would watch this video and help me and support me and stand by my side. And hopefully, I wish I can get justice as soon as today. I mean, I wish I can get justice as soon as today. And I wish, this wish I'm going to say now is very, very big to me. And I hope my wish comes true. Complete. I wish that I will get complete justice as soon as today. And I wish that anyone out there who has any authority of any kind and interfering in my life, specifically those who are abusing me psychologically and putting my mind on the line, on the test, I wish you don't have tomorrow. Whether you die naturally or you go to prison for life, because you do not deserve to live with people for what you are doing to me and keeping me like this. And not only this, trying to mess with me psychologically, trying to test me psychologically. Who gave you the right, you fucking bastard? Fucking piece of shit. I wish anyone who's interfering in my life to go to prison for life as soon as today, before the end of today. And I wish, if there is a God up there, that everyone participated in everything that was done to me to be punished accordingly. What can I say? What can I say? What was done to me can never be forgotten, can never be forgiven, and I will get justice one day, and I hope it's as soon as today. Complete 100% justice. Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Wish me, well, and wish me justice as soon as today. And yeah, authorities can be so bad. Authorities can be so bad, so bad, so bad.